President Farole. My floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Chairman, honorable ministers, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Our sincere appreciations go to the European Union for organizing this historic international conference for Somalia on the New Deal framework for fragile states. I would like also to take this opportunity to thank the European Union, the African Union, and the IGAD for their generous support to alleviate the plight of the Somali people and for hosting Somali refugees. And we will never forget your commendable support. Mr. Chairman, Puntland welcomes the New Deal framework has held wide consultation and has submitted the development priorities to be incorporated as a component into the New Deal compartment for Somalia. Mr. Chairman, I wish to take this opportunity to highlight a few important points. We are gathered here today to help Somalia emerge from this dark period of history. In 2012, the Provisional Federal Constitution became the first constitution produced in a consultative process among the Somali people for the first time since the Somali Constitution was abolished by the military regime 44 years ago. This marked a moment of hope and optimism that Somalia will begin to re-emerge from the path of self-destruction and a national agony. Somalia opted for federalism as it offers the only viable option to reunite the fragmented regions and territories of Somalia. Indeed, federalism is itself a model for reconciliation and prevents abuse of power at the center by a military dictatorship or a small extremist cult. That federalism allows inclusivity and permits power to be exercised close to the people. Mr. Chairman, Somalia's federal system is currently under development and the constitution needs to be adhered to and reviewed, but the legal process must be followed. The federal constitution in its final form must satisfactorily address autonomy for the state. Until that final stage is achieved, the political decision-making of Somalia shall be shared between the federal institutions and the federal states for the benefit of the Somali people. Parallel with progress on political settlement and stability, Somalia needs holistic socio-economic development based on benefiting from local resources responsible to overcome poverty, unemployment, and to stop metamorphing threats emerging from Somalia. This will give Somalia the opportunity to grow economically together with the sub-region. Somalia cannot afford to lose more time and bear more suffering, as the Somali people are eagerly expecting us to deliver on our promises to see a reconciled, reconstructed Somalia in peaceful election by 2016. The Somali people cannot afford another wasted momentum. The country must go forward and we must deliver. Mr. Chairman, Puntland State has played an instrumental role by establishing institutions for governance, law enforcement, and basic service delivery in this territory. We fought against Al-Shabaab terrorists and pirates in Puntland. We continue to prevent the threat of terrorism and piracy in the region. Our example will serve as a model for the Jubaland interim administration in future federated states. Puntland strives towards rebuilding a new Somalia, and Puntland requires international support for security and development to encourage future federal states and the stabilization of Somalia. Puntland has decided to implement a public financial management system, including processes, procedures, and other related items. Mr. Chairman, Somalia, in its current situation, needs the implementation of a political timeline agreement of 18 months to accelerate formation of states, finalize the federal constitution, and fully implement the federalism system in the country. The time has come to unite behind a common purpose of rebuilding Somalia and implementing agreed upon principles. It is a time to build a national cohesion for political and socio-economic development, which requires political will and courage of Somali leaders. Mr. Chairman, my national vision is the rebirth of a new Somalia that enjoys full peace, is a respected member of the community of the nations, self-reliant, respects human rights and gender equality. That brings hope to the citizens and attract voluntary repatriation of Somali refugees. I envisage Somalia moving toward regional economic integration and attracting investment for economic growth. As the President of Puntland, a veteran of Somali national peace process, and one of the roadmap signatories to end the transition in Somalia, I make myself available to work with other Somali entities, including the federal government, willing to contribute positively to all efforts to restitute the fragmented Somali nation state. Mr. Chairman, finally, I take this opportunity to remind the conference participants that while Puntland strongly encourages strict checks and supervision to ensure legal transactions and prevent security risks, we appeal to Western countries and the wider world not to disrupt the Somali money transfer system, as millions of Somalis in Somalia, in refugee camps, and students around the world studying abroad on the Hawala system for their livelihood and future. In conclusion, I repeat my appreciation to the European Union and the wider international community, front of which the African Union provided security forces to Somalia to stabilize in IGAD countries, and I appeal to you to stay close by the Somali people as we undertake these vital steps to secure peace and stability in our country. Thank you for your patience and God bless.
So now we are breaking for lunch until 15 o'clock. We restarted